So Joe Biden's the most powerful man in the world, most powerful human being. I want to be politically correct, all right? He is by far the single most powerful individual on the planet, and there is no question about it. So should we be worried about the most powerful man in the world? I am. Now, I don't like cheap shot analysis. I don't like a lot of the stuff that I hear on TV and radio about Mr. Biden or Mr. Trump or Mr. Obama or Mr. Bush. Never have. If I'm going to take somebody to task, criticize somebody, I'm going to do it in a fact-based way. But I will tell you, I am worried about Joe Biden. I do not think he is able to run this country. And I know it's quick, 7 weeks, but let me back it up. So I'm a linear thinker. I'm a simple man. You all know that. But linear thinkers go from A to B to C to D in a logical way. In fact, when I speak to somebody, if they get emotional and illogical, so if their argument doesn't make sense and then when you challenge, they start to get upset and I don't continue the conversation. Now on TV, when I was a younger man, I almost liked that because I could just go in with a hammer and boom. But now I'm an elder statesman and I'm trying to give you information that's important to you and your family. So here we go. So there is no doubt that 3 of Biden's policies are hurting us directly right now, hurting every single American in the country. The most prominent of them is the southern border. And there's no question about what is going on down there. We have hundreds of thousands of foreign nationals surging the border, trying to get here because they know when they set 1 foot onto American soil, they get all kinds of stuff given to them, things they could never get in their home country. And all I have to do is say, I want political asylum. And they're handed $1,100. They get health benefits. They get food stamps. They get everything and the promise of being an American citizen. Now, this is predictable. So the 80 million plus Americans who voted for Joe Biden last November had, if they were paying attention, and many of them weren't, they just hated Trump, but had to know if you were paying attention, this was going to happen. Because of 2 things that Mr. Biden himself said. Rule number 1.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
You cannot let, as the mayor said, you cannot let people who are sick, no matter where they come from, no matter what their status, go uncovered. You can't do that. It's just going to be taken care of, period. You have to. It's a humane thing to do.
And it is a humane thing to do, which is why all the emergency rooms in the United States are compelled to take anybody that walks in. However, that's not what Biden promised. He promised full health benefits paid for by the American taxpayer for every foreign national who enters this country illegally. You saw him, you heard him. Now, if you're living in poverty in El Salvador or Guatemala or Honduras, 3 countries I have been to. Remember, I covered the war in El Salvador. All right, I have spent time in that region. You don't have health benefits down there. No one has them. You get sick down there, you're on your own pretty much, unless you know some medical person. There are a few clinics run by Catholic charities, most of them, but you're in dire trouble. So if your child has a condition, if your parents are sick, you get here, Joe Biden's going to give you free medical coverage if you're a foreign national. So why wouldn't you try to get here? Why wouldn't you? I don't blame the migrants. I've said that for decades. I don't blame them. Many of them are desperate people. They live in violent places. They literally can't get ahead. So you're going to come to America if you can. So, under President Trump, we had a policy that made it difficult to get in here. Biden has dismantled the whole thing. And on top of that, he has said this. Go.
I am going to make a commitment in the first 100 days. I will send a immigration bill to the United States Senate with a pathway to citizenship for over 11 million undocumented people in America.
How noble is that? Isn't that noble? And there are more than 11 million undocumented people in America. Biden has no blanking clue how many there are, all right? There'll be a census coming out. Maybe we'll get an idea. Well, it's far more than 11 million. And now with hundreds of thousands coming, and that number will go into the millions by fall, all the people who do get here have a shot at becoming an American citizen. Now, they're not going to be able to vote immediately. They're not going to be crowned, you're an American. You have to go through hoops. But if you are living in a third world country, anywhere in the world, and you can get here, there's a darn good chance that you can become an American citizen and get all of the entitlements that poor Americans get instantly for the entitlements. So my logic, all right, my analysis capabilities says to Joe Biden, if I were sitting across and interviewing him, is that what you want? Do you want millions, literally, of people all over the world to come here? Pretty much unregulated? Because right now, they got $1,100, you get on a bus, you go where you want, and government doesn't know where you are. Government doesn't track you. They don't know if you have COVID. They don't know what the deuce you're doing. And we have seen a substantial problem with criminal aliens. We've seen it. It's in every major city. So I would say, with all due respect, Mr. President, is this what you want? Don't you understand that open borders are going to lead to societal chaos on every level? Don't you understand that American resources are stretched now to the limit? And you want to add millions and millions and millions of foreign nationals to that equation? Government can't afford that. Country can't afford it. Now, that's all logical, right? Linear A, B, C, D. It's Biden's fault. Biden did it. He's the president. 80 million plus voted for him. And this is what you get. Okay? This is what you get.